Hello, welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about the immorality of the Israeli actions. We're just going to listen now to some of the music play out there, a bit of an introduction. So, here we go. So start off a hypothetical. Is it ever morally permissible to kill an innocent person? Because they have killed 2,000 people. They weren't all innocent, but 70% of those were civilian targets. And so is it ever permissible to kill innocent people is the question. In short, the answer is yes. According to Thomas Aquinas' doctrine of double effect, that sometimes it is morally legitimate to take the life of an innocent person, provided that that was not the intended consequence of your actions. So, for example, if you can imagine there's a hijacked plane with passengers and it's flying towards a building with innocent children, women and children in it, is it legitimate to take out that plane, even though the consequence is going to kill the innocent passengers? The majority of people, I imagine, would say yes, unless you're a deontologist. That's another question. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's say, for example, as well, euthanasia. Some doctors, in order to alleviate the suffering of the patient, they administer drugs at such a dosage that it's going to lead to the death of the patient. However, that was not the intention of the doctor. Yeah, we have another case. We have an abortion. A woman has a very difficult pregnancy, and in order to save the life of the mother, it's necessary. An unintended consequence is going to abort the fetus. Okay, so these are all cases of the doctrine of double effect. So there's certain conditions for this. First of all, your intention has to be good. So in these cases, it's in self-defense now of the children in the building, to alleviate suffering of the patient and self-defense of the mother. Likewise, in Israel. They're operating and they're using a self-defense argument. They're saying, well, we have a duty as a government to defend our citizens from rocket attacks and the rest of it. Yeah. So that's just the introduction there, and that you get those other conditions. We talked about it has to be a good intention. The second one as well is that the negative outcome must never be the intention. And Israelis will say the government and all they say, well, hang on. We regret and all of this. We've remorse for any of these unintentional casualties. But you say that, and then there's other comments from the Likud party and the opposition party, which openly state that all Palestinians need to be wiped out and they're all terrorists and they're all little snakes, and just horrible racist comments that really do cast doubt on whether that second condition is being met. I don't think it is. And personally believe I think that they're targeting the civilians, but that's just my. You can't. That's just that's what's happening. They are tagging. That's why I believe that. The third condition is proportionality, and definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, they do not fulfil this condition, because you have these people in refugee camp that get blown over by these air bombardments, 1-ton bombs, and they come throwing these fucking homemade rockets back that have a very low effective. Very ineffective in terms of killing people. So going back to the Israeli kind of hypothetical, they say if the neighbour puts a machine gun, starts shooting a machine gun, shooting at your kids with a machine gun, and puts his boy sitting on his lap, what do you do? So what the Israelis do is they actually just fly a plane over your man. He just takes out the whole house. This is disproportionate. But in reality, it's not even as if you had a site though. I had in an earlier video. If you had a site, imagine you had a site in your target, and you take out the fella shooting at you with the machine gun, and he's dead. Now, do you turn the target then onto the kid? You don't do that, do you? You don't really do that. That would be immoral. Let's say your man, the neighbour, runs out of bullets. Right, you run over there, you beat the crap out of him. Let's say he doesn't kill your kids. You probably wouldn't kill him. But if you did kill your kids, you go over there, you probably would go try to kill the man. Now, after you killed him physically with your bare hands, would you then turn on the kid and then fucking kill the kid because he killed your kids? No, you don't do that. But that's immoral, you see. See, self-defense only goes so far. Self-defense, you can use force up to a point where you eliminate or neutralise the threat. So what Israel is doing, but it's even worse than that, what they're doing. What they're doing is they're just blowing up the kid because there's allegedly a machine gun in that vicinity. Okay, so they're just saying, all they do, they're just claiming that there's weapons here, or there's a tunnel here, and there you go, and that's all they need is a claim. Because I'm not seeing any evidence from the IDF that every fucking target they hit definitely has ammunition there. And even if it did, how are you going to fucking find that to blow the building up, you know? So they're just going around fucking blowing people up indiscriminately. And it's disgusting. And that's why it's immoral. That's why it's immoral. Because it's disproportionate. And it's infanticide, whatever you want to call it, infanticide, ethnocide, genocide, democide, homicide. Okay? It's immoral what they're doing, and it's definitely not what your man scumbag Netanyahu said, is that it's a moral mistake not to do it. Like, this is preemptive as well. Just look at, like, you go look at the statistics in Israel, and more people die of the fucking flu. About 60 people die of the flu every year, and fucking 3 people died from rocket fires or something like that, from Israelis, from the Hamas. Sorry, excuse me. And then they fucking killed 2,000 people in response. More people die of lung cancer, attributable to the fucking cancer sticks that say they're going to give you cancer, it's going to kill you. More people die of that every year than Israel than they do from rocket attacks. But the response is completely disproportional. It's like the frenzy when people get attacked by someone gets attacked by a shark and just go, man, they fucking kill all the fucking sharks and I'm exaggerating here, but they kill fucking massacre loads of sharks, you know. It's the same irrational response. People are well prepared to live with the risk of car accidents and dying of cancer and all these are the risks that we live with. But when you fire a rocket over the fucking wall, Israel has to go plough 2,000 of their people. You know, this isn't right. So that's it. Israel, you're wrong. Those who defend them are wrong. I'd be happy to debate anyone who wants to defend it. Put your comment down there if you think you're smart enough, and we have a debate. And you can't justify killing the innocent. They're not a threat to you. They're not a terrorist, and they're not a threat. And just because they happen to be, goons happen to be shot beside it, allegedly shot beside the building, does not give you the excuse to fucking drop a bomb on a kid, you fucker. Okay, take care, God bless.